Good morning, students. Sai Ram. Let us welcome to the online session. Let us continue with the lesson Life Processes in Living Organism Part 2. Okay. In this lesson, we learnt about asexual reproduction in unicellular as well as multicellular organisms, and we learnt about the sexual reproduction in plants. And now today we are going to, we started with the sexual reproduction in human beings, and we learnt about the reproductive system or the reproductive system of male as well as female. We saw about the parts, reproductive part. Okay, we learnt about the structure. Now let us continue with this lesson. This is the fifth session of this lesson. We are going to learn about the two processes of sexual reproduction. What are the two processes of sexual reproduction? Already I have mentioned there are two processes. One is the gamete formation and second one is your fertilization. For every human being or any animal, these in the sexual reproduction, these two processes should be followed. Okay. Now let us start with what is meant by gamete formation. So we all have learned about the gamete, that is in mitosis and meiosis we learnt about gamete, that is in usually in the germ cells. Okay, it is meiosis takes place. So both the gametes, that is the sperm as well as the ovum, are produced by meiosis. I told you for reproduction there is the meiosis, only for multiplication or growth of the organism there is mitosis. Okay, so always for the gamete formation, which division takes place? Meiosis. Sperms are produced in testis. Yesterday I showed you testis and how sperms are produced and how when they immature they are, and as they pass through the tubes and when they come through the ejaculatory duct they become mature. Okay, yesterday in the previous video we have seen that. Sperms are produced in testes of men from beginning of maturation till death. See, their sperms are produced from the age of 12, 13 itself. The sperms are produced and it is there till their death in male. However, in the case of women, at the time of birth there are 2 to 4 million immature oocytes in the ovary of female fetus. That means inside when the child is born, when the female baby is born, it has got about 2 to 4 million from the birth itself. It has got 2 to 4 million immature oocytes in the ovary. These oocytes are present in the ovary from when they are born, from the birth. Okay, and what happens to that? So an oocyte matures and it is released from every ovary every month from the beginning of maturity up to the age of menopause. That means from the age of maturity, from puberty. Okay, that is from the age of 10 or 12 years till age of 45. If the oocyte matures every month and it is released in the form of when you get the menstrual period, when you get the menstruation, that time this every month one oocyte is released from the female of the body. Okay, menopause is the stopping of functioning of female reproductive system. So as the women become 45 to 50 years, the reproductive system functioning will be stopped. So from the age of 10 to 12, from that till the age of 45 to 50, the reproductive system is functioning. And every month what will happen? The oocyte matures and it is released from, I told you, in alternate ovary. From one month one ovum is released from one ovary, the next month the oocyte is released from the next ovary. So every month one oocyte is matured and it is released up to the age of menopause. That means about 45 to 50 years. At the age of 45 to 50 years, secretion of hormones controlling the function of reproductive system either stops or becomes irregular. So what is meant by menopause? If the question comes, at the age of 45 to 50, the secretion of hormones controlling the function of reproductive system stops or it becomes irregular. I told you there are 4 hormones also. which are involved. When we learn about menstruation, we will learn about the 4 hormones. Okay, so this is menopause. That means functioning of the female reproductive system stops. Okay, and what happens then after that, the female will not be able to get a child. Okay, now what happens in fertilization? Okay, in fertilization, formation of zygote by union of sperm and ovum is called fertilization. That is, when the haploid sperm and oocyte unite, that is called as fertilization. Fertilization is internal in human. This we all know. It is inside the in the uterus of the mother. Okay, sperms in the number of few millions start their journey by the route of vagina, uterus, and oviduct. So sperms, when they enter the female body through the vagina, uterus, and oviduct, one of those few million sperms fertilize the only ovum present in the oviduct. So one sperm from that fertilize, unite with the only one ovum is present. So among the many million sperms released, only one of the sperm unite with the ovum and it is fertilized in the uterus. Okay, it is fertilized. From the age of puberty up to the menopause, that is, I told you, from the age of 10 to 17 up to the age of 45 to 50, an ovum is released. This I told you already. Ovum is released every month from the ovary. One from the right, next month from the left. And that is out of 2 million ova. That means when the female child is born, it has got about 2 to 4 million ova inside. That is which is not mature. Approximately only 400 oocytes are released up to the age of menopause. So every month one is released. Around only 400 oocytes will be released from the female's body. So there are how many? 2 to 4 million ova. In that only 400 are released, around approximately, or 400 are released up to the age of menopause. What happens to the remaining oocyte which is there? About 2 to 4 million oocytes are there, ovas there inside the body, which is immature, and every month one was released up to the age of 45 or 50. The remaining, what happens to the remaining oocyte? They get degenerate. They undergo degeneration. That means it will be degenerated on its own. It cannot come out. If it cannot come out up to the age of 45 to 50, it will be degenerated. Okay. Oocytes released from ovaries during last few months nearing the age of menopause, that is about 40 to 50 years old. They are very old. Up to, see, for 40 to 50 years, one oocyte is coming out from the body. So which is a later period, that is when your age is 45 to 50, that old the oocyte will be. Okay, because when the birth itself, this immature oocyte is there in the body from the age of 10 to 12, from the age of puberty till menopause up to 45 to 50, one is released. So whichever is coming out after the age of 40, it is so many years old. Okay, 40 years old. 50 years means 50 years old. So the ability of division has been diminished till now. That means they cannot be fertilized with the sperm. That age, in the 45 to 50, the mother cannot conceive again. Okay, because the ability of division becomes slower and slower. Due to this, they cannot complete meiotic division properly. So there is no complete meiotic division taking place. In such oocytes are fertilized, the newborn produced from them may be with some abnormalities like Down syndrome. Last year we had learned, children, about this Down syndrome. If the lady is conceiving after 45 to 50 years, that is at the end of the menopause, that is nearing to menopause, that time if the child is born, the child will have some abnormalities like the Down syndrome. We had learnt about Down syndrome last year. Okay, now let us see this. Now we learnt about the chromosome number, children. The chromosome number in germ cells producing the gamete are diploid. That means every human being has got 43 pairs of chromosomes. That means 22 for 22 pairs, that means for 40 and one pair of sex chromosomes. So 44 plus 1 sex chromosomes, the XX or XY. Okay, 22 pairs of autosomes. So 44 autosomes and one pair of sex chromosomes. So 44 plus XX or 44 plus XY. 44 plus XX will be in female and 44 plus XY will be in male. I'll show you this in detail. See, these germ cells divide by meiosis. Due to this, gametes contain haploid number of chromosomes, that is, either they will have 22 plus X or 22 plus Y, that is the sperms will have either 22 plus X, either they will have X chromosome or they will, this is haploid. Okay, totally they will have 44 plus XY. The male will have 44 plus XY chromosome, but when you take it in when the gamete is formed, okay, they will have two types of sperms are there. One will be of 22 plus X, another one will be 22 plus Y. Okay, either Y will be present or when the sperms are produced. Whereas oocytes are produced of only one type, that is 22 plus X. Only X will be in female. In male, either it can be X chromosomes or Y chromosomes. So 22 plus X or 22 plus Y in male and 22 plus X in female. Okay. Both sperms and oocytes are produced by meiosis. We all know this. In case of sperms, produced by meiotic division is completed before the sperms leave the male reproductive tract, that I told you. When it comes through the tract itself, it becomes the meiotic division completes and it comes out fertilized. However, in case of oocytes, process of meiotic division completes after ovulation during fertilization in oviduct. Okay, that means this oocyte is not completely fertilized. Only it comes when it comes after ovulation, when it comes through the oocyte, when it comes through the oviduct only it starts its fertilization. Okay, now see this I showed you. This is, I told you already, the sperms contain either 22 plus X chromosome or 22 plus Y. In female, there is only 22 plus X chromosome. So, if X chromosome from male combined with X chromosome 22 plus X and 22 plus X of female, then the child which is born will be girl child, because the diploid will be 44 plus X. When it is XX, it is a girl child. If there is 22 plus Y of the male unite with 22 plus X of female, then 44 plus XY comes. Whenever there is XY chromosomes, then you will have the boy child. Okay, so 44 with the X of the male unite with the 22 plus X of female, there will be a girl child. Then 22 plus Y of the sperm, if it unites with 22 plus X of the female, then which child will be born? A boy child will be born. Now can you tell me who is responsible for the sex of the child? Because in many of the places, the female is blamed. Isn't it, children? Female is blamed. If the child is born, girl child is born, who is blamed? Not the father. The mother of the child is blamed. But is it correct? Because see, the sex of the female will give only X chromosome. But the male sperm can produce X as well as Y. If X unites with the X of the female, then a girl child is formed. So, if Y of the sperms unite with the X chromosome of the female, then a boy child is formed. So, who is responsible for this? The sex of the child, the male. That means the father is responsible whether the child is male or female, and the female, the mother, should not be blamed. Okay, so this explanation. See, always we have to remember the man is totally responsible whether the couple will have a boy or a girl. I told you now. During zygote formation, man contributes either X or Y chromosome to the next generation, because the sperms have got 22 plus X or 22 plus Y. But woman contributes only X chromosome to the next generation, because she has got only 22 plus X. The female will not have Y chromosome. So who is responsible for the sex of the child? The male. Okay. At the time of fertilization, if X chromosomes comes with the male, the child will be a girl. And if Y chromosomes comes, then and some comes, then the child will be a boy. Okay. Then what happens if the X chromosomes come? It will be a girl, and if Y unites, then it is a boy. And last part we'll see what is the growth and development. See, after it is combined with the sperm, then the zygote is formed. Okay. Now growth and development. What happens when the zygote is formed? When the male sperms and unite with the female ovum, oocyte, a zygote is formed. The zygote formed after fertilization in oviduct. First it will be in the oviduct only. Okay, the sperms, they will be released inside and it will be fertilized. It will be zygote is formed in the oviduct, that is a tube-like structure. And there it undergoes repeated mitotic division. Okay, it undergoes mitotic division and embryo is formed. Where it is formed? In the oviduct. Okay, and meanwhile it is pushed towards uterus. After it is formed, it is pushed towards the uterus. Once it reaches the uterus, it is implanted and further development occurs after implantation. So once it is embryos formed in the oviduct, and after it is formed, mitotic division takes place, and once it is pushed into the uterus, and then development occurs over there. Then an organ called as placenta. This you have heard. Okay, a connecting between the mother, umbilical cord of the mother to the child. Okay, organ called the placenta is formed for supply of food material during the growth of uterus. This we all know, children. Whatever the mother eats during her pregnancy, that will go to the child, because she is connected to the child through the umbilical cord. A placenta is grown, that is through that the food material is passed to the fetus, to the child. Embryonic development is completely approximately within 9 months after the fertilization. So the zygote, which is embryos formed, it is remaining inside the mother for 9 months, and then it is developed into a child. Okay, children. So we learned today what are the two: gamete formation as well as fertilization. Then after fertilization, we saw who is responsible for the sex of the child. Who is responsible? The male. The father of the child is responsible, because he is able to give X chromosome or Y chromosome. If X unites with the X of the mother, then it is a girl child. If Y of the father unites with the X of the mother chromosome, then you will have the boy child. So who is responsible? The father is responsible, and it is not fair to blame the female for the sex of the child. Okay. So after the embryo is formed, after the zygote is formed, it is kept in the oviduct for some time. There mitotic division takes place, and then when the embryo is formed, it is pushed into the uterus, and there it is implanted, and it remains over there. The embryo develops, and the food for the growing embryos by the mother, and there is an organ called as the placenta, which is helpful for connecting the mother and the child. The nutrition is gone through this placenta to the child, and when the embryonic development is completed after 9 months after the fertilization, and after this the child will be born. Okay children, hope you have understood this. So this is the complete process how we learnt about the male reproductive organ, female reproductive system, and we saw how gametes are formed and how it is fertilization takes place, and we saw after fertilization what happens to the zygote and how the growth and development taking place and how the child will be born after 9 months. Hope you all understood this lesson, this part children. We will learn the next part in the next video. Hope you all understood. Go through the lesson. Okay. Sai Ram.